First of all, I would like to give my thanks and gratitude to the President of Bangladesh Orthopedic Society and the other executives and the senior members who are present here and giving me the opportunity to speak such a subject, very difficult to summarize, very difficult to express, very difficult to give a guidelines for the management of orthopedic patients during COVID-19 pandemic in Bangladesh. It is a very difficult job. I tried my level best to show something on a slide. It is very difficult to speak in a slide. Better you can write down. So if you allow me, I can continue.
You please continue, please.
So the novel coronavirus first emerged in Wuhan, all of you know, China in December 2019. And COVID-19 declared international public health emergency pandemic all over the world by World Health Organization. And first case identified in Bangladesh on 8 March. Total number is still identified today is 25,120. And today's 1,251. So it is increasing day by day. Somebody, I can hear somebody's voice.
আমিনুল ভাই আপনি মিউট করেন, আমিনুল ভাই মিউট করেন।
So total identified is still 25,120 and total today identified 1,251 and total death till now 370. Total 21 today and total 21 yesterday before yesterday also. You can see here there is a congestion in the first part of the slide. I want to mean that Bangladesh has around 170 million population, densely populated, illiterate. There are slum areas where many people live within a single room. So, and also the doctor-patient ratio is 1:1847 in the total, but in government sector only 6,579. But World Health recommendation is 1:1,000. The similar picture with the other health population concerned with healthcare system. Several times, Bangladesh in the play of giving vacation, lockdown in different parts, reopening of some government, and there is huge movement of the people all over the country. The law and enforcement agency are unable to control them also. So even after the release of lockdown, we have to be very careful in attending patients, especially the surgeons. So all of this putting tremendous pressure on the healthcare system of Bangladesh, either in private sector as well as in government sector. So hospitals are now hot zones for the treatment as well as transmission of COVID-19. I think, and there is talk show every day, already there is community transmission all over the countries. So patient management, both elective and emergency are high. Are high risk areas now. The virus, remember, the virus can affect the bones and joints also. This virus is affecting the daily practice of orthopedic surgeons. Even they are forced to cancel their professional visits in their regular chamber, also outside Dhaka city travelers. So we have to ensure the ability of the surgeons to function through this pandemic. We don't know when this pandemic will end. We have no experience, we have no preparation, like all over the world. The high prevalence all over the country, there is an increased risk of transmission. So we have limited resources and staff. Keeping all this in mind, the healthcare system, both in government and the private sector, should act immediately to support the essential surgical care, protecting the patients, staffs, and conserving the available resources. Because if one is affected, he will not be able to give service again. So we have to go for trials in everywhere, in outpatient department and also in emergency. This trial is not too similar to that of trials of trauma patient. This is the differentiation and establishing treatment guideline. Differentiation into normal and suspected cases and established cases. So this is the flow chart of a trials. First of all, when patient enter into the hospital, you have to inquiry about whether he has any symptoms of COVID-19 or any contact or any travel agency, any travel history. Then if no, then patient will go to normal. But if yes, please put a mask first to the patient. I will go later on details and keep isolation of the patient. It will be detailed in the subsequent slides. The hospital area should be designated into at least 3 areas: red zone, yellow zone, and green zone. The red zone is the high risk area where aerosol generating procedure regularly done. I will comment later on what is aerosol generating procedure, and the people who are working, healthcare providers who are working in the red zone needs high level PP. That is N95 mask all time. This is the picture of N95 mask, and N95 mask is also called respirator. Normal mask, it is not a normal mask, and we need disposable fluid resistance gown, disposable plastic apron, disposable gloves, eye protection goggles or full face visor, and shoe cover. This red zone. What is the aerosol generating procedure usually done? Please look at the chart. Endotracheal intubation, manual bag valve ventilation sometimes needed in the emergency, suction of the respiratory tract, tracheotomy or tracheostomy, nasogastric tube insertion as well as removal, surgery using high-speed device like high-speed drill, diathermy, non-invasive or positive airway pressure ventilation, also induction of sputum. Sometimes it may be necessary to aspirate the sputum. So yellow zone, moderate risk area. This area for the healthcare providers, Well, this is the confirmed or suspected COVID-19 patient, but no regular AZP done. But here needs PP, all staffs, not only for the doctors. At the green zone, this is a low risk area, no COVID area, only surgical mask, eye protection, gloves, and plastic apron is required. Exposure risk category of the healthcare providers. We are healthcare providers, including our staffs. So there are high risks, medium risks, low risks, and no identified risks. High risk group, who have close contact with patient, not now, before 48 hours before the onset of symptom. Both healthcare providers and patient not wearing masks, they are at the high risk. Medium risk has a history of close contact with patient, including 48 hours before the onset of symptom, and healthcare provider not wearing mask, but the patient wearing mask. Or healthcare provider performs AZP wearing PP without respirator. And low risk area, healthcare provider wear mask or respirator and patient wear mask. Or healthcare provider done AZP with full PP except respirator. And no identifiable risks. Healthcare provider has no history of contact, not involved in the active management of the patient. So, standard protocol, what should be the standard protocol? I said previously that we should use minimum staff for conservation of staff. There are no published guidelines nowadays. Still now in Bangladesh Spine Society in the recent within last 2 days published and try to publish one guidelines. The patient and attendants should be screened everywhere, even in the outpatient department, also in the emergency. number of visitors to be restricted, and we should go for contact tracing. If there is contact tracing, this will be another issue. I made this slide for the outpatient management, but in the subsequent slide, the same management protocol in emergency and outpatient also. Especially for outpatient department, I personally consider it is a yellow zone in Bangladesh now, because there is a community transmission. There may be confirmed patient or there may be suspected COVID-19 patient. I personally prefer to suspect every patient have COVID-19 positive. This will be better for the orthopedic surgeons. So we need full PP, all staffs. A 3-layer surgical mask made by cotton, hand sanitizer, and disposable gloves box should be at the entry point of the hospital for the patient and their attendants. Doctor's patient distance should be 6 feet. Remember, previously it was 3 feet, now it is 6 feet. Seating arrangement of the patient outside the doctor's chamber should be 6 feet distance. Allow only one patient. If needed, one assistant. And during routine round in the non-COVID ward, you should maintain 6 feet distance with the patient. Management according to the specific guideline. Minimize or cancel all elective procedure. According to the pandemic rules, we must cancel all the regular elective surgeries. But for management of emergency, we require a outpatient department, a inpatient or isolation ward, a surgical care, that is operative procedure, and a post-operative, it may be inpatient isolation ward, or patient may need intensive care unit. We should avoid transmission to fellow patients and healthcare givers. Orthopedic patient expected during lockdown period by the orthopedic surgeons, especially in emergency cases, polytrauma, dislocation, open fracture, vascular injuries, compartment syndrome. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Kodaikonus syndrome, mangled limb, infection, neck of femur fracture in elderly patient, spine injuries or infections, severe cervical or lumbar pain, post-operative cases for wound dressing or suture removal, they must come to us. Post-operative surgical site infection, we have to manage this, and elective cases with severe symptoms may come in front of us. Follow these steps to create a safe working environment for ourselves. Safe working environment, we have to, the examination area, especially the door handles, working stations, frequently used items should be cleaned regularly with 1% hypochlorite or Lysol at least 4 times a day, or when the patient does or everybody does, we can wash the area. Ensure that the healthcare staffs, including doctors, nurses, and paramedic staffs, have no signs, symptoms related to COVID-19 infection. No contact with COVID patient in past 14 days for healthcare staffs. And if possible, screen the healthcare staffs, if feasible, by investigations, COVID-19 investigations. And we should wear the PP in the emergency room, at least an N95 mask, surgical gown. I have given a question here. Surgical gown is enough if the patient is not COVID positive. If positive, surgical gown is not enough. Examination gloves and shoe covers, at least these things should be present in the emergency area. Education of the healthcare staffs, patients, and their attendants is of paramount importance. How to attend the patient? For patient and their attendant, already I have said, a 3-layer surgical mask, hand sanitizer, disposable gloves box should be at the entry point, and after hand sanitization, they should wear the gloves and they wear the mask. In case of trauma patient, it is not possible to wear a mask for the patient. Usually the patient should have a mask. If they are not unable to wear a mask, attendants should provide with one mask. History of COVID-19 like symptoms should be asked from the patient and attendants. History of contact should be obtained from the both patient and the attendants. Separate form should be attached to the record to record all the information from the patient and as well as the attendants. If positive history, isolate both patient and the attendants because attendance brings the patient. Both should be isolated and treated as a COVID positive unless proved otherwise. Keep every patient in an isolation or in an isolation ward or in an isolation room in a closed room. Convert ward to isolation room as there should be limited inpatient department inpatient because we have to manage the emergency patient only. Maintain a separate dressing room and plaster room for the patient. Waste like dressing material, gauze, etc. or suspected patient should be disposed of carefully. Remember, avoid negligence towards elective patients with severe symptoms like patient with tumor, pathological fracture, chordaicona, any infection, avascular necrosis, ankylosing hip, and rheumatoid knee with severe pain should be investigated properly. Surgical intervention should be deferred unless it is urgent. Adequate analgesia, antibiotics should be given. Follow-up usually should be after 4 weeks or if possible by telemedicine. How to manage a trauma patient with COVID-19 like symptoms? There is a history of contact. Inform hospital administration as soon as possible. A specialized COVID area in the triage should be made, which I already said, red zone. Resuscitate the patient with a primary survey and splint is the fracture limb. Preoperative investigation should be done along with COVID-19 test and manage the portable X-ray and ultrasound if necessary to avoid contamination and decreasing movement of the COVID patients all within the hospital. CT scan, MRI if needed, they should be sterilize the respiratory area after investigation as per the Center of Disease Control and Prevention guideline. How to manage trauma patient? How to manage trauma patient with COVID-19 like symptoms? We have to go to the previous slide. Patient with closed fracture. Surgery after COVID-19 result is negative. Cases need urgent management like open fracture, vascular injuries, compartment syndrome, mangled lip cannot be waited until COVID-19 result comes out, should be managed as a COVID positive patient with strict precautions. If the results are positive, keep the patient in a COVID isolation ward until the results are negative. Take the help of the COVID till the result of COVID negative and take the help of the COVID response team of the hospital. If the results are negative, shift the patient to the orthopedic ward and then discard as early as possible, discharge as early as possible. There is a scar mark. I don't know why this scar mark is made in my slide. I don't know. Management protocol and flowchart. Guideline for management of COVID-19 positive. It is in green zone and COVID positive patients. The guideline flowchart you can see here. This is the flowchart. Already I have said that there should be high index of suspicion. Treat every patient as COVID positive unless and until proved otherwise. Screening the risk factors like clinical symptoms and COVID-19. I can use this one. Sorry, this is not helping. Screening for risk factors of clinical symptoms of COVID-19 and history of any contact. If it is negative, none of the risk factors is present, no clinical symptoms, no traveler contact history, patient shifted to the regular emergency triage and treated according to the normal prescribed standard protocol I will discuss later. If there is a fever or respiratory symptoms, travel contact history are positive, any of these cases, inform the hospital authority first and also this will help. Patient shifted to the dedicated emergency triage for suspected COVID management. I have to shift these pictures. This pictures is disturbing me. So if the test become positive for all the COVID investigation and COVID-19 suspected cases, we send the patient throat swab for the test. If the patient has a fracture which can be waited for management like closed fracture, wait for test result. If test result become negative, then treat as a standard protocol. If the test result come positive, treat the patient as COVID positive. Treat the patient as COVID positive. And I said previously, fractures which are supposed to be managed on emergency basis, like open fracture, fracture with vascular injuries, compartment syndrome, mangled limb, treat the patient as COVID positive because we should not delay for these patients. This is the standard protocol for the COVID negative patient. Research is the patient by primary survey, all of you know, and go for secondary survey because due to high chances of missing injuries in light of COVID suspicion, keep the patient in isolation ward, that is non-COVID ward. And again, the pictures is disturbing me. I go that side, please. Yes. Standard protocol minimize patient and attendance movement in the ward, expedite the process of operation, and discharge the to lessen the hospital burden over the healthcare system. Do the operation immediately possible. These patients should be attended by separate team of surgeons. Maintain a follow-up OPD in separate area for dressing, suture removal, and plaster removal. If possible, give telemedicine. In case of COVID positive, manage conservatively whenever possible. From the triage area, patient should be shifted to the operating room directly. Strict regulation must be maintained while shifting the patient. Sterilize all things that used while shifting the patients via trolley, lift, etc. Maintain a dedicated COVID operating room with trained staffs, and preventive measures must be taken in all steps of operations and surgical procedures. Every effort should be made to minimize the duration of surgery, decrease blood spilling, don't use high-speed drill, try to avoid diathermy, proper disposal of the surgical waste, and maintain negative pressure ventilation within the OT room. Post-operatively, shift the patient to the dedicated COVID isolation ward. Discharge this patient only after COVID results are negative. 2 successive reports are negative. Care must be taken during this procedure regarding the physiotherapy, bed sores, and deep vein thrombosis of the patient. Dedicated orthopedic team for the suspected or diagnosed COVID-19 patient. This team should compromises regarding the doctors, except the other paramedics, junior resident, registers or assistant registers, consultant, assistant professor, associate professor, and professors under the supervision of the senior. Pre-operative, intraoperative, and post-operative management should be done by the same team, and they are not allowed to attend other patients, remain segregated from the other departments and colleagues also. And which I have already said, we should have 2 to 3 such teams who work according to shift. At least should be in 40 days interval. One team, then another team goes for isolation. Wear a triple layer surgical mask, I have said, which is known as preferably N95 mask, and maintain hand hygiene. Must wear full PPE, should be taught how to wear and remove the PPE effectively we should collectively work with the other departments to face the pandemic. Respected participants, now I want to go to a video show. If you allow me, I can move it forward. You have to check. They are checking what are the items needed, and after that, she's ready. She's removing her bracelets and other ornaments, and she's ready. After ready, she's checking what are the requirements. Is it present or it is intact, or is there is any problem? And now you follow the steps. They are using alcohol-based solution. Mr. Murad, remove 2 slides, Lieutenant Colonel Awal and Sohail Rana. They are obscuring the visual.
Ji.
Lieutenant
sir,
Colonel
please.
Kader
Ji,
and Sohail Rana.
জি আমিনুল ভাই শুনতে
Remove
পাচ্ছেন?
these 2 pictures from my slide.
আমিনুল ভাই হ্যাঁ, আপনার এই যে সোহেল রানা এবং লেফটেন্যান্ট কর্নেল আব্দুল কাদের, হ্যাঁ, ওনাদেরকে একটু করতে হবে, ডিসেবল করতে হবে।
Sohail Rana Galaxy A5 and Lieutenant Colonel Awal.
সোহেল রানা গ্যালাক্সি A5 ওনাকে একটু ডিসেবল করে দেন। মানে মিউট করেন বা কিছু, হ্যাঁ মিউট করেন, উনি কিন্তু আনমিউট আছে।
ডিসেবল না করে স্ক্রিনটাকে একটু সরায় দেন, তাহলেই হবে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, স্ক্রিনটাকে অন্য জায়গায় সেট করে দেন, ওনাকে স্ক্রিনটা অন্য জায়গায় নিয়ে দেন।
ডিসেবল করলে শুনতে খারাপ শোনা যায়।
এই যে সোহেল রানা এখন আনমিউট আছে, তো ওনার ওখান থেকে শব্দ আসছে। মিস্টার সোহেল রানা, আপনি যদি শুনে থাকেন একটু আপনাকে কাইন্ডলি মিউট করতে হবে। জি
Murad Shah, stop.
জি
সোহেল, তোমার মাইক্রোফোনটা মিউট করে দাও। সোহেল 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 নিজেই মাইক্রোফোনটা মিউট করে দাও।
না, নোট ছবিটা সরাই দিতে
ঠিক আছে,
হবে।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
Can you see this writing?
Yes.
জি স্যার,
By the
দেখতে
Roman,
পাচ্ছি।
you're seeing the writings?
Yes.
জি
Look, plastic apron. We need a plastic apron over the PPE. This is known as an outer apron. Finally, put on the outer gloves.
We are observing, but what to do? We have nothing of this.
Now the instructor is checking if there is any crack. Every part of the body should be hidden, should be covered. So doffing, you see drawing and there'll be doffing. I'm coming, just a minute. Okay. He's checking, is there any leak or contamination of his gown or any part, including respirator. And they are disinfecting the outer glass by 1:10 bleaching powder dislocation solution. Apron is moving faster. So PP, there is no spilling of the PPE. There is no visible contamination. See how she is removing gloves. She is touching only the inner part. See how to remove the goggles. So they discarded the goggles. It is quite impossible on our part to discard the goggles. We can reuse it.
শত্রুরা কিভাবে ঘিরে আছে, কিন্তু এখন থেকে আমি সবসময় সুলতানার সাথেই থাকতাম। যদি কেউ
মহিউদ্দিনের লুঙ্গি দেখা যাচ্ছে। This removal is very important.
Speaker, I will request you to make hardy. It is already 45 minutes past.
Already, this is the finishing. This is the finishing. So you see the movement, dancing movement of this lady. And only one step left. As moderator said, you should see how to remove the respirator, that is N95 mask. Now they used alcohol-based sanitizer. Before removing the respirator, she is putting another new gloves. Because if we want to reuse it, we must follow this protocol. So, respected participants, this is what you know, the lovely institute where I entered as a student in the year of 1993, and I did my graduations, my medical officership, assistant registrar, assistant professor, assistant professor, and professor, retired as a post professor, come academic director of the NATO. It was then the 500-bedded hospital, and I love it. I feel for it. I feel for you people. Now the hospital become the 1,000-bedded hospital, and I have the opportunity to work with you for a few days in this hospital. And thanks for your patient hearing. And I want your criticism and your some question from the learned participants. Thanks for patient hearing.